All right, welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. My podcast partner is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. He will be joining us shortly, I am sure. We will have Jackpot in here with us this evening. We're going to talk about, we haven't talked since like the day before New Year's, but we can definitely get in the stuff on the South Carolina-Illinois game. A lot of butthurt South Carolina fans pissed off at Coach Belima, or however the hell you spell his name. I don't know how you say his name. We can definitely get into that. We can get into the playoff and how Notre Dame just kind of went out and just smacked Georgia around a little bit. We can definitely get into that. I have to welcome in, as he is coming to us right now, Mr. Carolina. Kale, what's up, buddy? How are you?
How are you? Well, boy, you didn't waste any time getting started without me tonight.
I apologize, sir. If I'm 1 minute late, they'll bitch and blame us for being late, and I just didn't want to fight with the comment section tonight, sir. So that's my fault. I figured you were coming. I knew you were going to get here.
I was coming. I'm coming.
Anyway, I told him we could talk about the South Carolina Illinois game. We haven't really had a podcast since then. We can also talk about. Well,
I'm just kidding.
Whatever you want to get into, man. I thought we could talk a little bit about the narrative that the SEC is down, which is kind of funny. We can talk some hoops. There's all kind of stuff we can get into this evening. The playoffs are today, or the playoffs get ready to start next week for the NFL.
Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs just went out there and just said, fuck it, we don't care. I mean, they lost like 48-0 to Denver today.
I noticed like the lines on some of those games were crazy, like the line of the Bills game and the Patriots, like the Patriots were favored, and they actually did beat them. Is that just due to these teams just sitting players?
They sat the majority of their players.
The teams that have already clinched, they're sitting their guys.
Right. Well, like
they're letting them opt out. In other words,
yeah. But the Chiefs like clinched the number 1 seed in the playoffs last week when they beat the Steelers. But with that, they don't have a home game. I mean, they don't have a game for like a month in theory, as far as their starters go, because they get, this week off, the next week off, and then they play. It's like 3 weeks without a game. So it's kind of crazy, but
Aaron Rodgers won his last game as a New York Jet.
Yeah. Andy Reid's won more Super Bowls than I'll ever dream of. So, I mean, if that's what he wants to do with his guys, then have at it,
Yeah, I'd say at your age, Rob, you're probably not winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's probably not in the midst for me there.
Jay Shipus, thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Anyway, so we can talk about all of that this evening. If you want to sound off about the South Carolina-Illinois game, we can get into that.
Yeah, already got into that one. This very, very disappointing performance there. Disappointing on a lot of levels, and still had a chance to win the game in the end.
Right.
I think there were some poor coaching decisions made there in terms of the way, just in terms of the way we laid the game out and managed the ball there. I think South Carolina should have kicked a field goal there at the end to go down by a point and put it in the hands of the defense again. But
well,
I don't think that leaving points what am I trying to say here? Not going after points when you can get them is a smart move. Just don't.
Right. Well, I think for that game, the thing that got me was Eamon Moray. I can't ever pronounce that kid's name correctly, and I apologize for that. But the whole thing with him, that really bothered me, where he apparently told the coaches, hey, I'm only going to play one half, and that's it. And I'm not mocking Shane Beamer for that, because you line up one of the best safeties in the SEC if you have that opportunity. I mean, I get that, but I could also see the idea of,
if you'll remember last year on Twitter too, he clowned Juice Wells for his fuckery.
Right.
It was either him or Bam Martin Scott, but I believe it was him clowning him for his fuckery. He's made all these comments about this is going to be a historic defense, which in a lot of ways it was. He wasn't wrong. I will play the bowl game for sure. That was his comment in one of the press conferences leading up to the game.
Right.
Yeah, I think somebody said, "Well, Nick got some bad advice from people. He got some bad. He's a grown ass fucking man. He can take bad advice and filter it out, and then he can take good advice and act on it. That was bad advice. You shouldn't have acted on it. I get bad advice all the time.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I go out and do it just because. Well, I can do this and fuck up and tell everybody I got some bad advice. It'd be all right." It doesn't work that way. I'm less mad at Kyle Kennard and Rocket Sanders for just opting out of the game than I am at him for playing half of it and then quitting. I mean, was the game not going his way? I mean, did he think we were the shits? I mean, it was a close game. And I don't know. I don't remember what the score was at halftime. I think we were. I don't remember.
Was it 10-7? I mean, some ridiculously low score, but look, my thing on that, and I know people don't like me saying this, but no one's going to remember the Citrus Bowl 5 years from now, okay? But people will remember that you quit, okay? Mm-hmm. They're going to remember that you were a quitter, just like Deebo Samuel when he was one of the first to opt out. And it was like, holy fuck, you're opting out of that Virginia game right after. I mean, he just ran up and down the field on Clemson and, ballistic. And then, 3 weeks later, he's not playing in Charlotte.
Yeah, but left us with virtually no offense, no weapons.
But the thing that gets me, though, is that Shane Beamer had an opportunity, and there are other coaches that are in this mix too. The Miami coach had the same thing. I'm sure he knew Cam Ward was going to opt out at the half.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I think he knew that.
Right.
And I don't think that Beamer. I don't think he knew what was going on. I mean, according to the Big Spur on the message board, the guys that write for it, he did not know. So, and I'm thinking that his tirade there in the second half. I'm thinking that's why he was so angry. I really am.
I get that, but
I mean, because look, I mean, the whole this thing. I mean, that doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't incense anything to me. It's just like I would just laugh at him, like I fucking got you. Fuck you. Yeah. I mean, I don't. That's not going to make me
doing on our sideline. The fuck is he doing? What's this fat fuck doing on our sideline?
That wouldn't incense me. I think he was angry about something else, and I think that's what he was angry about.
Well, if Beamer knew, okay, and there's talk that he did, talk that he didn't. If Beamer knew that he was only going to play one half, people would remember if Beamer point blank told him either you're all in or you're all out. And, you're not going to make the fucking trip with us if you're not planning on playing and leaving your soul on that football field. People would remember that. And the players that were there, they would remember that. He had a chance to make a statement if he knew. We don't know if he knew or not. Either way, it looks bad for Iwunamore. And, hey, I'm going to play a half and then fucking sit. Same thing for Ward, too. I don't give a shit if you're the most talented player on the planet. Yeah. If you opt out at the half, I cannot draft you if I'm an NFL guy. Can't do it.
I wouldn't either.
Shit, So,
and of course, these guys are going to play in these. I think one of them's playing in the Hula Bowl. A couple of other ones are playing in the Senior Bowl.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, you could risk everything by playing in a meaningless Senior Bowl, guys. I mean, come on now.
Right.
Come on now. It works both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
bitching about it though is in retrospect, it's not going to do a damn thing because it's not going to it's not going to change until somebody decides to change it. It's not. And you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, right, as I like to say.
Well, but like somebody like a Beamer or a head coach has to have the satchel to tell these kids, look, I love you, and I'm telling you, you are making a horrible mistake here. If you want to opt out and not play at all, I'm fine with that, respect that, because I want you to go and have an NFL career. But if you're telling me you're only going to play a half, that is some fuckery to the highest level, and it shouldn't be that way. So, what a mess. Gervonta Brown says, why would you not draft him for playing a half, but draft players who don't even play in bowl games? It's a difference, sir. It's a matter of you told me one thing, you go out and play a half, and what's the point of playing a half? That's like telling you're
hurting your team when you do that, especially when you just fucking dip out in the middle of the game. You're part of the game plan. That backup is not. I mean, he knows he's always got to be ready to play, but like he don't know. Oh, I'm going in the second half. Maybe he's not mentally prepared right in that moment.
Well, you're
a tight ball game too. Both those games, both of them were tight ball games. The Miami game and the South Carolina game, both of those were tight ball games at the half.
Right.
I mean, it's not like you were behind by 21 or you were up by 21. In that case, okay, well, maybe you just tell the coach, hey, maybe can you just sit me the second half? Then that's okay. Then then nobody's going to even know any difference because it's already a blowout. So, the first stringers are sitting anyway.
Well, Big Barney Ross says, what if they tell the coach I'm only playing a half? No, you don't get to determine when you fucking play. I get to determine that you don't play at all. I'm the motherfucking head coach, not you.
If you opted out a week, 2 weeks, whatever, before the game, as soon as the game was announced, you gave everybody time to game plan around it.
Gervonta once again says there was an agreement. If there was an agreement, then your head coach has no fucking balls.
How do you know this?
Right. If there was an agreement, let's just say there was. Your head coach doesn't have a set of balls.
Did they call you and say, hey, let's get Gervonta in on the loop? Yeah. I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, how do you know that?
Look, I and what he said there is true. That day is over.
It's done. I mean, that was not the South Carolina team that we've seen. Right. You can't. This is the second or third time this year, though, they've fallen behind and not played their best. They did it against Missouri. They did it against Clemson. They were able to come back in those games and come from behind and win. In this one, they weren't able to do it. You can't play with fire all the time without getting your fingernails burned off at one point or another.
It just doesn't look good. If he wants to opt out, that's fine. Opt out. Go. Hang a left and whatever. It's just. The smell of that was just silly. And I know it's over with now, but there has to be something that is done on this front. I think it's more of a, especially with the transfer portal and things like that, we need to have drop dead dates of, December 5th, you determine whether or not you're going to the pros or not. That's the easy way to do it. The transfer portal doesn't open up until January 27th. Which will be 7 days after the national championship game opens. This shit, guys, jumping into the portal and, the shit with Marshall where they lost their whole fucking team, that shit's got to stop.
Yeah.
It's got to stop. And the way to do it is to set the portal up right. And you make these, it helps with these kids too, because they're going to go into, if guys opt out for the NFL, which you'll have, these other guys knowing, hey, I'm playing for tape for somebody to see me when I go into the transfer portal on the 27th. They're going to play their ass off. The bowl games will start meaning something again, and then we can go from there. So, I don't know. It was frustrating to say the least. That's all I've got to say about that. Javante says, do away with the portal. Well, as Jackpot says, the toothpaste's already out of the tube. So
they're never going to do away with that. I think it should be regulated a little bit better, though.
Right.
You've got too many players going to too many different schools. It's just they should go back to allowing one free transfer, one time. You make one mistake. I'm going to take the bag. I'm going here one time. That's it. After that, you got to sit. You got to sit a year if you want to transfer again. If you're a graduate student, it's different.
Well, Rashada at Georgia, Jackpot, he's in the transfer portal again.
He didn't play a snap in 2024. Didn't play a damn snap, and he's hit the portal. I mean, can't say that I blame him because Stockton's back next year. This other backup kid they've got, I think his name's Puglisi or something like that.
Right.
Supposedly pretty good. He's probably not going to see playing time there. I don't know where he ends up.
Mike says, Happy New Year, fellas. 11 weeks till spring ball. # go dogs. # rest in peace, Sonny Smart. Yeah.
Wasn't he from wasn't he at Arizona State last year?
Who? Oh, yeah. Last year, yeah.
Rashada. Bet he wishes he hadn't left.
Yep. Rice says if you transfer, you should lose a year of eligibility. I don't know if that's the way to do it.
I think you should. That's the way it was in the old days. I mean, if you transferred, period, you didn't lose one. You just had to sit a year.
Right.
And that's what I think they should do now. You get one transfer portal entry free of charge. You can transfer without penalty, but after you do it again, then you're having to sit.
Unless there's a coaching change, then it's all about. Paul, what's up?
Well,
buddy?
now you're just damn throwing too many variables into that.
I know, right? Hey, Paul, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, bud, what
Better
you got?
than I deserve.
Good. I'm just going to say, as shitty as our South Carolina basketball season's going, at least we beat Clemson. Go Cox.
Hold on. You're 10-4. You're not fucking, your season isn't shit yet. You're 10-4, sir. You look like asshole yesterday, but still you're 10-4.
Yeah, but that was against non-conference play. I don't really.
I think South Carolina ran into a buzzsaw yesterday and didn't shoot the ball well. I went back and watched some of that game today. They just didn't shoot the ball well. So
Mississippi State's good. I mean, Mississippi State only lost one game coming into this. They've beaten several ranked teams.
They beat Memphis. Memphis is a good team. So
they beat Memphis, the team that came down here and beat the Taters. They beat SMU was a decent. I don't know they are now. It was a decent team. Pitt, they beat them, was a good team. So
yeah.
Those kind of things are just going to happen. I mean, we got our ass beat like that last year against Auburn a couple of times, and Alabama too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Anything else there, Paul?
Well, it was a somewhat competitive bowl game. Obviously not excited with the results, but I know I will say this. I did like seeing Shane Beamer fired up. I don't know if I've ever seen him that fired up. I'd like to see he actually cares, especially about something like a bowl game. So that actually gave me.
To be fair, he I've never thought that Shane Beamer wasn't somebody who gave a shit. I just think he's just over emotional, in my opinion. But
he doesn't know how to rein his emotions in. He started crying after the game again. Rob, did you see that one?
I did. He did
in the press conference. God damn! I mean, stop.
What are you crying for? I mean, seriously. I know. I'm the Clemson fan in this fucking discussion, but what in the blue fuck are you crying for?
Stop it! Damn!
God damn it!
Wait, did he cry in this last press conference?
He cried in
Yes, he did. It wasn't as bad as it was last year when they lost to Clemson. He cried a gusher, that one kind of, but this one, it was just kind of a little bit of a sniffle. He fought it off, and he muscled through. We'll put it that way, but there was crying there.
Let me give you the impression.
A diaper was needed.
Hold on just a second. Hold on. Shut up, you bitch. Stop crying, you cunt. It's ridiculous. How in the fuck are you supposed to lead men? You're walking into a fucking room with guys that are between the ages of 18 and 21. Their testosterone level is through the fucking roof. Their dick is so hard they can hit themselves in the nose with it. You're supposed to be walking in there leading them, and you're crying about fucking losing to Illinois. You are a pussy, dude. I don't give a fuck what people say about him. He is a pussy. He's cried 4 different times in press conferences. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. So anyway, and I want him to do good. People laugh when I want him to do good. I like the fact that the rivalry game this year actually fucking meant something. It wasn't, one team was fucking great and the other one wasn't. It actually meant something on a national stage.
Yeah, so it felt good to see them both ranked again, and
Yeah, but now it's like you're sitting there and I want you to do good, but you're just crying. Holy shit, dude. I mean, come the fuck on, man. I just bugged the shit out of me. Anyway, there you go.
Red Devil says it's snowing buckets here in Chesterfield. Chesterfield, you're back at home, or you? I know you were traveling. You said you in is that in Virginia, Chesterfield, Virginia?
Yeah.
Or
I don't know.
Yes, Virginia, huh? We're supposed to get it here on Friday.
We're supposed to get something, but it's changed so many times. Who the fuck knows? Big Barney Ross says South Carolina will beat Kentucky in basketball this year. They might. Paul, you got anything else, sir?
No,
girls.
That's about it. Thanks for having me on as always, and talk to y'all later. All right.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. I tell you what, if Beamer cries in another press conference, if you're going to be on the show for more than 90 seconds, you're going to have to cry. That's how it's going to have to be for you Gamecock fans. Because this guy is just a fucking
bad look. I don't like it. It needs to really stop that. There's a line between caring. Every one of these coaches cares, I think. I mean, they wouldn't be in the position they're in. They wouldn't have been they wouldn't be able to have pulled the wool over someone's eyes and landed that job if they didn't care. I mean, they all care. I mean, you don't have to show us how much you care by doing that.
Right.
Don't need it.
Jarrett, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
What do you have for the program this evening, sir?
Oh, nothing. Just UGA, they lost. I mean, it was just a match of being out coached. I mean, they treated.
All right, turn down whatever it is you're listening to us on, sir. We don't need to hear you twice, my friend.
Does that sound better?
Yeah,
that's
you go.
Good.
What you got, buddy?
They treated Gunnar Stockton like Carson Beck.
Well,
that's how Mike Bobo treated Gunnar. They treated Gunnar Stockton like Carson Beck, and
he's got to run his offense.
They should have had more run designs. I mean, I saw where he had some run plays set up. It looked good, but they didn't do it. And I'm like, this is how you make plays with his legs. And he broke free for a couple plays. I'm like, this is what you do when you have a running quarterback. And they didn't do that. And that's why they lost. They even said that pregame, if they have Gunnar Stockton sit in the pocket, they will lose this game. And what happened? He sat in the pocket and they lost that game.
Well, he didn't have real good protection from what I saw in his receivers.
Yeah, because that left guard is terrible.
And his receivers fucking suck. I mean,
they're
either making some kind of crazy catch or they're just dropping totally catchable balls. I don't.
And then that kid on the sideline.
Well, that's one.
What the hell was the deal with that anyway? That guy, the backup quarterback, or fifth, he wasn't even in pads like that. Fifth stringer ran into a referee. What happened with that?
Allegedly, he was in a way of the sideline judge, and you cannot legally do that. But how's that so? I don't know. I mean,
the sideline judge makes that call, and if that guy was in his way and impeded upon his ability to make the call that he's supposed to make, then fuck you. It's a 15-yard penalty. That's not up for discussion. The kid was in the way, and he wasn't supposed to be there. So let's just put that to bed now. That is a call that generally they have to make if it's going to impede upon their ability to make a call. I don't have a problem with that call. The idea that Georgia fans are hanging the loss on that kid is crazy to me, though.
I didn't say that, but I do think he needs to go away for a while.
Well, I mean,
y'all got staffers. They got staffers and support people on the sidelines at all these schools, keeping them back, keeping coaches back and players back from out of the where they're supposed to be. Have you seen that before, Rob?
Yeah, the get back coach is what they call them. Make sure people keep them where they're supposed to be. But I don't have any issues with that. Georgia, look, the average Georgia fan, the smart ones. I know Harry will feel the same way about this. I'm sure Jay's in the mix too. Even Mike over there. Notre Dame lined up and they were just fucking better than you were.
We got out-coached.
Out-coached? Bullshit. They outplayed you.
We got out-coached.
We got out-coached on a couple of plays there.
Well, you got outplayed.
Fourth and one at the fourth quarter. We should have called a timeout, and Kirby thinks, SEC rules. I'm like, what the fuck? No, you call a timeout. He's trying to go 4th and 1, fake punt. No, you call a timeout. Even if you do got 2 timeouts left, you call a timeout, man. And he didn't. And they went for it, jumped off sides, and they gave him a 4th and 1. And even though the game was over then, that was like, ugh.
Big Barney Ross, ref ran wide on purpose. The player wasn't in the white. Racist statement, Big Barney Ross. I'm just kidding.
And let's go back. Even before that play happened, even before that, they had another penalty, and Georgia had a chance to go for 4th and 1, and then they passed it when they could have just done a quarterback sneak, and they could have probably got a first down, and they didn't do it. I'm like, all this, I mean, stuff like that, where I look at these plays where I like Mike Bobo, I do. He had little to work with, but at the same time, we got to get more receivers, and we got to get back to having good running backs because Kirby Smart hasn't had good running backs at his tenure.
Wait a minute, hold on. No, I'm not. I can't have that.
Nick Chubb and Tony Michelle. Nick Chubb and Tony Michelle was the best.
Those are generational running backs, dude. Those are fucking top 15 running backs. What are you fucking talking about? ETN's going to be a fucking 1st or 2nd round draft pick.
That was in the transfer portal.
The guy that's backing him up is listed as a preseason Heisman candidate. Yeah, y'all got.
He's got to control the ball.
Those weren't his recruits either. Anyway.
Oh Jesus.
He's got to be able to control the ball. Frazier. He has had trouble controlling the ball and getting it knocked out of his hands.
I tell you what, I'll take Frazier right now as Clemson's starting running back next year. They'll be just fine. You don't have issues with fucking that. You could definitely talk about maybe some tackling issues. You could talk about that. You could talk about the fact that maybe Stockton wasn't coached up well enough. I'll even give you that. But this is silly. This is silly, man. Hey, what else you got, bud? I got lots of people waiting.
As for South Carolina, yeah, Shane's got to quit getting all emotional, man. He's got to stop that. That stuff. I'm telling you, it just doesn't look good. I mean,
he's got a short fuse. He's got to control it a little better. But
yeah, maybe he could smoke a joint.
That boy was definitely in the wrong. There's no question about that in my mind.
Sir, have a good night.
I don't think he really would. He jumped out there and actually fucking went to blows with him. I don't think that would have went Shane Beamer's way. That dude's pretty big, and he looks like he's fucking mean.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Billy, what you got for the program, buddy?
Hold me back. Hold me back. Let me get him. Let me get him. Hold me back. My Belima would have squished him like a pissant.
Yeah, well, Belima might have eaten him too. There's that.
Anyway, Happy New Year's to all.
Happy New Year's, Billy.
What are we doing with the rest of the Callaway Pick'em? I missed the first of the show, I guess.
So here's where we are with that. There's one more game tomorrow that will finish out the sheet.
Right.
And then I will post the updated standings tomorrow evening. And then the final 2 playoff games will have the form up for that. So people can pick those 2. And then we'll have the championship game later on.
Well, have y'all happened to keep up with the Tennessee football team? What's going on up in Knoxville?
I mean,
not really. What?
You guys the wide receivers have left.
Well, the one kid receiver, not in the portal now, right? Mike Matthews.
He's staying. He's staying. He's good
staying.
To go. He's fine. But it all started with the true freshman here in Cleveland, Boo Carter, that plays cornerback. He come out a week and a half ago and said, pay me or I'm leaving. And, oh, by the way, I want to play offense too. And Heupel caved into him. So all the wide receivers have basically left. It's empty. And Mike Matthews.
So the wide receiver room got pissed off because Heupel is going to let a defensive player play on the offense?
Yeah. Well, Boo Carter played tailback in high school here. Heupel knows that. And he was on like the runner-up state champion 6A team here. And Boo Carter said, I want to play offense too.
So he wants to play wide receiver though.
Or slot back or whatever. But it didn't go over good with. But this is what, you know what I'd have told him? Bye. Just like Beamer told it. You don't come in here and tell me what you want. Bye.
Yeah, the coaches need to understand you are the head coach.
Bye.
Stop bullshit of, I'm only going to let you play the first half. And, if that's what you want to do, as long as that's okay with you, and you want to play offense and defense. That's fine. We'll let you do that.
Well, I want more. So it depleted.
My wife too. Have at it. Go ahead.
So a lot of the receivers that left wasn't any good anyway. Squirrel White left. He's too small and he stays hurt all the time. I forgot where he's going to Auburn, I think, or something.
I thought he was going to Florida State.
Yeah, there you go. That's where he needs to be.
So he just wants to be a loser, I guess.
I don't know. It's chaos up here now.
We're still waiting for the Florida State fans that came in here and ran their dick suckers at the beginning of the year talking about, we're going to win the ACC. And Rob, you think that our coach is a piece of shit? Yes, I do. I still stand on that. The rest of you have fucking Caspered your way right the fuck on out of here. We hadn't seen you since.
Dennis Wilson has it right over there in the comment section. Says everybody wants to be like Travis Hunter. That's true.
Let me
I don't know that any of them can carry his jock, but okay.
Rob has SEC bias. He said something about a checkbook when you buy players. Ohio State is the best bought team in the United States right now, and they're doing pretty good. By the way, I don't think Oregon should have been in the playoff. Ohio State embarrassed them. Bad. Oregon shouldn't have been. They were number 1 ranked team basically all year, and they went out there, and Ohio State did it to them. They're like a $22 million team, I think. So
somebody wrote this whole thing about what was it? I read it somewhere. I don't remember. They were like, it's interesting that now that other players, teams can pay for players that Alabama and Georgia are out of the playoffs. And I was like, you think that Ohio State and Michigan and everybody else wasn't giving players money? Are you really that fucking stupid? I mean, come on.
Well, you can find out what a team makes. It's not that hard. Just Google it. I mean, it's not a confidential, classified information. Just like South Carolina. South Carolina gave Lenoris there $2.7 million. They scraped up some money and gave him money. So
Yeah,
it's not like these players are staying there because I'm a devoted to this university and this is where my heart is. That went out the doors years ago.
On that during the bowl game. I'm sure y'all saw it or heard it. He got that $2.7 million, and he went out there and put up the most garbage performance he's had since he played Old Dominion.
Yeah, that's coincidental, jackpot.
Well,
I don't know. He looked slow and out of it, and I don't know. He looked like he.
Well,
looked like he spent a day at the marijuana farm or something down there outside Orlando. So I mean, he did look like he was just lost, dude. I mean, he did have a nice run or two, but
I did notice he had a nice hairdo. He went and got him a hairdo with that money.
Yeah, he got his hair did.
He got a perm or something.
He didn't have Rocket Sanders back there to hand the ball off to. That's kind
of
a big
he started growing it out after the last game. He said he wasn't going to cut it until he loses to Clemson.
No, he got a pretty nice.
It's probably going to be dragging his butt in a couple of years.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoyed it. I'm going to leave here because I know Rob SEC Bias has got 30 minutes worth of.
Just
our manager's bigger than your manager. our ball boy.
Just refer to him as Peckerhead. That's his name. Don't call him that. His name's Peckerhead.
You could talk about basketball now if you wanted. We can skip on over to basketball.
I mean, what do you want to talk about? I mean, you want to talk about Tennessee and how they're fucking January champions, and once we get to March,
they're ranked number one again, I think.
They beat Illinois. They beat some big schools.
Yeah, we need to call Tennessee and get some advice on how to beat Illinois.
Tennessee picked up a shooter from, I forgot where he was, North Florida. So this kid's averaging 28
points. So who's the star on? Because I haven't watched any. Admittedly, I haven't watched any Tennessee basketball this year. Who's their best player? Who's this year's Dalton Connect?
A guy's name's Chaz Lanier. He's averaging, I think, 26 or 28 points.
He was on the team last year, wasn't he?
No, he's a transfer portal guy.
He's not Dalton Connect though.
From some small college.
Right now,
no, he's right up there with him though. He fills it up. Plus,
I'll take Connect any day over that guy. I don't know what basketball you've been watching, but okay,
yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. So, but anyway, let me get off here. I gotta take my dog out. Take care, guys.
See you
later. Enjoy the show.
Bye-bye. Chris says Tennessee.
Tiger in the Burrow. Thank you. He said he bought a big bag of Utz pretzels tonight. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all about the Utz. All right. There's the link there. Chris wants to know if he's going to be able to walk his dog by himself. That's not nice, sir. That's not nice.
No.
So there's that. Anyway, yeah, Gamecocks kind of took it on the chin. Clemson, they won over California. Although
Cal made me some money last night too. I had them covering that 14.5 point spread, and they came in just under that. Spencer Rattler made some money for me today too. His player prop was over 202 passing yards, and I jacked that thing up to over 222 passing yards, and I made off a $50 bet. I want to say $85 on that. He had like 250 or something.
Yeah,
they still fucking lost. They were ahead late in that game. He makes a few ill-timed passes, but he was doing pretty well there at first. He was like, I don't know, it was like 12 or 13 passing at one point, but it was only for like a 7-yard average. So,
good evening,
Peckerhead joins the show. What's up, buddy?
Joe Milton, just with a middle finger to Patriots fans nationwide, does his absolute best, screws us out of the first pick. Clearly, Big Boy was holding him down in Tennessee because he came out and he balled out to ensure that the Patriots would not, in fact, get the number 1 pick in the draft. So let's just all clap it up for Joe Milton, the biggest piece of shit I know.
Well, that's why normally they fire coaches on tomorrow, which is Black Monday, but your fucking organization was like, fucking fire this guy now.
Gerard Dukes Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. And the thing is, he had never coached before. The only claim he had was that he was a really good linebacker for the Patriots and the 2000s.
Belichick's up there laughing at his damn, I don't know, in Chapel Hill in his condo with his 27-year-old prostitute. He's over there laughing his ass off like,
What did you call her?
What?
27-year-old. What did you call her? Prostitute.
You think she's going to do?
Is that a combo of prostitute and sorority girl?
Exactly.
I think that's what that was. You think she's going to do in-home visits with him?
Of course she is.
Go meet the mom and dad.
Meet the mom.
I don't even think she's 27. I think she's 25.
Talk about the mom. Just go meet the dad.
I think she's 25, Rob.
Let's go there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I'll go ahead. I'll eat my crow for the Illinois game. All right. We lost. And the thing is, it was our fault. We left so many points on the table.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We had 9 points at least on field goals if you talk about missed and going for it.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Tiger Red Devil. She gives him talcum powder baths every night.
God.
That's fucked up. Hey, but 9 points if you're counting field goals and going for it. If you're counting drop touchdowns, you're looking at more like, I think we had 2 drop touchdowns. So that's 14 plus another 6 on the field goals. Right. I mean, there's plenty of points were there to be.
There was a fumble, too, in their territory.
Fumble, yeah, in the red zone. I mean,
hey, you know what?
That was my boy. That was my boy there, Howell, who laid that one on the ground.
I want to thank Bill Belichick for keeping the American dream alive. What I mean by that is that, you know, he went and did what I think all guys want to do. He went and coached and did all this great stuff and made a whole shit ton of money so he could buy a 25-year-old to fornicate with when he's in his 70s. Isn't that what everybody wants to do eventually, right? Maybe, I don't know.
I wonder if they'll have kids. You think he's in the mood to start a real family?
That motherfucker's shooting out powder. He ain't shooting out any sperm.
I bet he's got something frozen. I bet he's got something frozen, Rob.
That's gross.
He's just pouring powder into that poor woman.
Well, he's already got like a 30-year-old son. You know, one of the stipulations for his contract was his son has to be the interim coach after he leaves. He's like the coach in line.
Yeah, I'm coaching one fucking game. Then take over for me, son. I'm going to sorority row. This one's too old.
Yeah, well, Steve Belichick, if they actually follow through with it, I will say Steve Belichick is an excellent football mind. He is a bit of a nepotism look just off the sheer face of it, but if you actually dig into what he does, he's actually a really good coach.
I think he's a good coach, but you know, people talk about the nepotism thing, like as far as, you know, taking care of your son or whatever. I'd take care of my son.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to fucking, hey, I'm going to look out for my kid. I don't give a shit.
You know, back in high school on career day, when I was asked what I wanted to be when I grew up and was mature, what I wanted to do for a living, I definitely would not have been on my bingo card to say when I'm 50 years old to be sitting up here at 9:30 on Sunday night talking with dingalings on a computer screen about what kind of substance is oozing out of some 70-year-old football coach's penis. Yeah, here we are.
I brought that up, sir. That's my fault. I just, you know, I don't know. That's kind of an old joke we had at the radio station about, you know, as jocks get older, they just blow loads of powder. It's not even jizz anymore. It's just powder.
Loads of powder.
Just powder.
Well, I agree with the what the earlier caller said about the Shane Beamer's outburst mid-game. I wasn't mad with it at all. I think that's something that the kids can rally behind, and I do think a touch of what Kale was saying, although I think it happened in the first. Am I wrong? Did it not happen in the first half? Was it in the third quarter it happened?
It was late in the third quarter, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I do think a little bit of what Kale said was probably at play, too, with Eman Wari in the locker room already kind of pissing him off.
I think that's fair, but I also think that what Belima did, where he walked over, checked on his kid, and then is running his mouth to an opposing team, was kind of shitty.
That too. And the thing is with Bubs, I mean, as a Clemson man, I've seen plenty of games, and I'm sure you'll agree. I've seen Dabo blow up just as much as Shane Beamer did on that, just for a fucking play that he thought should have been a penalty.
Oh, I've seen Dabo lose his shit, but
that's why I'm glad to see some fucking fight out of Beamer. He looked like he wanted to go over and stick Bielema in the fucking
He did,
face.
and then he looked like he was a man's man. Then he goes into the press conference and cries like a whore.
I wasn't mad at that either. He's an emotional guy. He's got peaks and valleys, Rob. Hey, listen, if he wasn't a good coach, I'd be pissed off about it. Okay. That's where I come from.
We can agree to disagree on that, sir.
If he wasn't a good, his coach, what he brings to the table outweighs what he says after the game. In my book,
so you're fine with him crying like a, you're fine with him crying?
if he takes a Vegas 4.5 win team to 9 wins, yeah, I'm fine if he cries at the end of the season.
I mean, Muschamp did the same thing.
Jerry said Bielema was a good coach. Really, he's gotten fired multiple times. But
that's true too. Who? And the thing that pisses me off the most is
I guess the third time's the charm.
Yeah. The thing that pisses me off the most is I hate losing to just absolute shysters, man. I mean, people who know they're dabbling on the edge of breaking the rules or bending the rules. I mean, you don't see a team like Georgia. You don't see a team like Notre Dame. You don't see any of these legit teams go out and do this bullshit, just gimmicky stuff. That's what you saw Ole Miss do it too, just with the fake injuries after every first down. That's the thing that pisses me off the most. I can handle losing a game just flat out, but when you have to just do stuff that's just clearly on the edge of being illegal, that's what sticks in my craw a little bit. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's kind of what it felt like to me.
Yeah, Jerry said he had success at Arkansas. He didn't have any success at Arkansas. Jerry got fired from there. And that led into the Chad Morris era, which was even worse. But they tried to say that Beamer was unethical too with his what was it? Sports Talk Jay called it the gray area he was living in with the kickoff return. Look, he just got taken to school on that.
And the thing is, that's a trick play. That's not something you're running every single series.
It's a trick play, right? And he talked about it. He got it cleared with the officials. The official says it's okay to do it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a little different. That's vastly different than what I was talking about with the faking injuries with Ole Miss, and then him just slow rolling even the comment. And that the thing is, that's not even the reason we lost. This is just something that pisses me off. All right. Everybody in their mind, everybody who's watching the game can see what's happening and knows, man, these guys need to fucking speed up. The commentators are calling for the refs to speed up the substitutions. And just nothing was done. And Beamer screwed himself. The thing is, we could have got the ball back. That fucking timeout where after the post-fight, and he did the same damn thing where he had to call a timeout because he ran a late substitution on, and they just walk out onto the field like they were doing all game long, had to burn that first timeout in the second half. That's what pisses me off, is just stuff that's clearly not in the sportsmanship of the game, you could say. It's not how football is supposed to be played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what you got? Little Ziggy Cam? Woo! Look at that hound.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to get up here with me. Just go.
And Rob, I will officially say, as far as
the ladder, go on ahead and get up.
I'll eat my crow on this. As far as post game, what's that plan? As far as postseason results, it is, in fact, I would rather have the Clemson results.
What's the matter with you?
Said and done. I know you got furious at me last call over my take on that.
What are you talking about?
I said when we were talking about if I would rather have the Citrus Bowl outlook on whether if I don't know they'd win or lose, or the Clemson playoff appearance.
I can't help you with that. If you think that going to the playoffs is not for you, then that's just your mentality. And
no, I'm not rehashing the argument. I'm saying is after knowing the result of our game, I would rather have the playoff ass whooping.
Well, you should want to go to the playoffs every year. I mean, that should be the goal for everybody, right?
Yeah. No, you didn't understand the argument. That's all, and I don't want to rehash it, so we don't even have to get into that.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I just think that it's just that I don't think that I think that every team should be trying to get into the playoffs because everybody's trying to win the national title. That's what you should be doing.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. That's what I'm saying. We agree on what you think we disagree on. We actually agree on, but you don't understand what I was saying. That's why it's just not a big deal. But on to next season, the Gamecocks are bringing in a strong wide receiver class. I said it.
Very.
I'll say it again. It's not put you in the eye. Are you all right?
No, it's
the red.
It's the light. Yeah. It's just the shade.
Because it looks like you got like fucking like raccoon eyes. Like somebody gave you the
I was
old
probably rubbing my eyes earlier.
You got the 2 piece and a biscuit from somebody, man. What happened to you?
Certainly not. I carry. No, that'd never happen.
Oh, okay.
But the Gamecocks bringing in probably the strongest wide receiver class, high school class in the country. They've got 5 4-stars coming in. I don't know where the hell we're going to play them all. One of them, like who was it? Was just talking about somebody was going to play both ways. Billy Cole, right?
Yeah.
I think Donovan Murph, one of them was one of our Gamecock recruits who just committed, was expressing interest on playing both ways.
Yeah, he was talking about it.
But that was just in an interview, so nothing.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of wide receivers next year. You got Mazio and Nick Harbor, and
I think Novon Campbell could come back.
Who's going to be your running back, though?
Who's that?
Who's going to be your running back? That's a very fair question. I don't know. Who's going to be the running back?
Oh, who's going to be the running back? It's probably going to be Attaway.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be Attaway. But that guy, Fuller.
He played pretty well in the bowl game. I have to give it to him. I was like, I was like, he's just kind of mid, but he played well in that game. Yeah, nice touchdown run.
That Fuller is supposed to be pretty good. What's his name? Matthew Fuller?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be pretty good. He's a nice little 4-star. But you're gonna have Jawan Howell back as well.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's gonna be good too. I mean,
yeah, I think the running back room. We're probably not done in the portal either.
He reminds me of Najee Harris.
Does he really?
You guys want to know how petty I am? I've got the NFL game over on one of my other screens here, and they've got Maria Taylor standing next to 2 football coaches, and she's literally 4 inches taller than they are. And it's like the optics of that just looks like shit because I mean, I've met Maria Taylor. She's a very, very, very tall woman, but fucking Jason Garrett standing next to her and it's like, hello, Mom, how are you? Goddamn, fix your fucking settings there. Get him a damn stool to stand on. What the hell are you guys doing here? It just doesn't look right. I'm sorry. I'm petty.
Well, do y'all know who's had I know we haven't. Well, first of all, a former Gamecock out of nowhere got himself a touchdown today. You'll never guess who it was. Just throw out a guess. It was from the early Shane Beamer era with Mike Bobo.
Kevin Harris?
Nope. E.J. Jenkins got himself a touchdown for the Eagles today.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Count him. I mean, I thought he was a Georgia Tech guy.
No, come on now. He's a Gamecock. You
talking about that big 6'7" kid?
Yeah, he got a touchdown today for the Eagles. I saw it on Red Zone. I was like, holy shit, he made it. And he must have been in the league for a while if he's still there now. I mean, he has to have been in the league for at least 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
But leading into that, it's funny you were talking about Georgia Tech. I wanted to talk about, did y'all see they have an impressive class coming in as far as transfer in high school goes?
Yeah.
Do y'all think they're building something down there in Atlanta?
Well, they're With the amount
they got a good coach. I mean, just like with everything else, I think they're like, look, Georgia Tech's a Power 4 team, but I think they're also in that little area where if they develop a star, somebody's going to pick him up. You saw what happened with that wide receiver that left and went to Auburn. I mean, you went from a bowl team to a shithole for money.
I wonder how long. See if you guys can hear this. I wonder how long before, when Shane Beamer takes the field, somebody plays this. Here you go. Listen to this.
I can't hear it.
Oh, we can't hear it. That sucks. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I'm going to share it. I think it's it's a clip that I found that I think that. Let's see if I can share it here. Hold on, because it's. Damn it! I'll get my shit together. Here you go. This one. Where is it? There we go. That one. All right, let's see here. All right, there you go. The scene from The Godfather. See if you can hear it now.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
How long before some fucking guys like, we should just play that as soon as Shane Beamer and South Carolina, coached by Shane Beamer. You can act like a man. What's the matter with you? Crying bitch. Hello, son.
By the way, Kale, you'll be happy to note, as of today, we have officially jumped Florida State. Finally, all their decommitments, I guess, cashed in.
Thank God. Because we were behind them in recruiting. I looked. I'm like, how the hell are we behind them with all the decommitments we had? I think that Donovan Murph put us back in the lead there.
Probably. And the thing is,
why is he waiting so long to commit anyway, by the way?
I don't really know. He committed at that Under Armour game. Maybe he was just
are you still quarter zipping or not after that 35-point blowout yesterday?
Well, I had to don my Patriots hoodie since Joe Milton gave us the middle finger and gave us a pointless win. So
who
it
gets
only
the
felt
first
right.
pick now? Does it go to who gets it now?
And what? The respect for what?
Well, I mean, he screwed you out of getting the first pick in the draft. Who gets it now?
Oh, I think it's the Titans now.
Oh, well.
The thing is, he not only screwed us over the number 1 pick, he bumped us all the way down to 4, Rob.
Look over in the comment section. Chris is talking about something here with the Georgia man. Says he's one of your problems at Georgia. You have many. And then you have Billy Cole saying, Gamecock fan telling UGA they have problems. Got to love it. LOL. Look, this is just kind of like, I equate that to like if I'm talking about the playoffs or something in a video, somebody's like, why are you keep talking on the playoffs? Look, I mean, someone who's a college football fan can make a statement. They can make an assessment of someone's program. It doesn't mean that we don't have problems, Billy. It doesn't mean that we're making the playoffs because I'm talking about a playoff team. I can still talk about your team.
Yep. It's the classic what about you argument. That's I mean, you see it from people who don't really have a lot of substance to back up what they're saying. So all you get hit with it. Oh, but what about you, though?
Yeah, it's kind of like saying rent-free.
Yeah. So
rent-free.
I don't even pay that argument no attention. It's not even worth time.
Rent-free or congratulations on beating our worst team in 10 years. Rent-free. You don't have a right to speak on that.
But I'm excited. By the way, did y'all see Quinn Ewers? I saw I think it was Adam Schefter that was saying he's either going to come – he's probably coming back, and it's either going to be for Ohio State or who was the other team? Was it Oregon? I don't know if y'all saw that post or not. There was a post – I can't remember the second team.
You talking about transferring?
Yeah, it said he was going to come back, and he was either going to play for Texas or I think it was Texas or Ohio State.
He going to go to Ohio. He left Ohio State.
Well, that's I think it was Adam a Schefter bum usually is not wrong, Kale. Yeah,
I don't think Ryan Day's going to have him back. I mean, he was there before.
Let me look up officially what it was. I could have got the team.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the splint went down. Maybe so. I don't know.
Says, the Panthers garbage traded away Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold's had one good season. I still think he's ass. By the way,
I don't. He hasn't had a good. I don't think. Me personally, I don't think he's ass. I think he's a guy who's been in some really shit. I mean, what quarterback? Baker Mayfield's is Baker Mayfield ass? He was in the same situation in the Panthers.
Baker Mayfield's been consistently better. So
no,
I mean,
not at the Panthers. They're both equally as shit.
I think Sam Darnold is fucking. He makes some. He'll blow this game tonight. He'll throw a pick 6 tonight. Watch.
Nah. Sam Darnold's a reformed guy, and he deserves to be paid. All right. If Anthony Richardson's making what $25 million a year, what's his first round salary?
No, I don't think. I mean, Darnold got a good first round. They both were first round draft picks. That's true. They were slotted the same amount of money.
That's true.
I don't think that Richardson's that good either. But if you told me I could have Mayfield or Darnold, I'd take Mayfield.
Well, the thing is, are you gonna hitch your wagon to a reconstructed knee with old Shea Patterson versus the guy who got you 11 wins this year? You know what I mean? Is that what you want to do?
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Because they're talking about letting Sam Darnold go, and rolling with Shea Patterson. Is that really what you want to hitch your wagon to? A guy coming off?
As far as salary cap goes, yeah.
Didn't he just have a Marcus Lattimore injury?
No, he just tore his knee like a non-contact injury, warming up or something.
Oh, I thought he had like a real bad knee injury. It wasn't like either way, I'm going with the guy who just got me 11 wins. Me personally.
See the throw he just made. That's your 11-win guy.
Chris says, was talking about Robbie Ashford. Robbie Ashford is committed to Wake Forest.
Yep, Wake Forest Demon Deacon. He's going to be tearing y'all up in the ACC.
He'll be starting, I would think.
He should be.
Yeah, he should.
Who do they have?
Wake had that old Boise State quarterback, Bachmeyer, there. That guy's been around for a while.
Oh, that reminds me. Did y'all see what happened, what came out of Boise State the other day?
No, what, potatoes?
Their offensive coordinator retired from football because he said he put out a really long statement. I'll try and paraphrase it. It was basically during the bye week that they earned, countless teams were tampering with their players and coming in and offering them NIL to hit the portal and commit to them. So he retired from college football entirely because of what it's become.
Damn, was he an old guy?
He was a little older. I think he was only 60s, though. He definitely had some tread on the tires as far as coaching goes. But can y'all believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess is he the first real coach to take a stand? I guess you can maybe say Nick Saban, but he didn't come out and actually say it. I mean, I think this is the.
Well, I mean, what is taking a stance? I mean, Nick Saban just quit. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, this is the first real coach.
He really take a stand. He just quit and said, I don't want to deal with this.
That's what I'm saying. He did. Yeah.
Chris says Clemson's going to lose to
Sean Elliott did it too, kind of.
At QB. First of all, Clemson doesn't play Wake Forest next year. And if they did, I would bet you $1,000 right now, that Clemson rolls Wake Forest next year.
You'll be lucky if you see him in the championship, Rob.
He's not going. That Wake Forest isn't going to be shit. So let's just slow down with that nonsense.
Hey, are you worried about by the way, Duke? I think it was Duke. That transfer quarterback they're getting in from Tulane, I think. No, he's good, Rob. He is good. You need to do your research on that guy. He's a really good quarterback piece to replace Murphy.
Who do we have? We don't play.
Riley Leonard slapped him around 2 years ago. I can definitely see this guy doing it.
Do y'all play Duke, Cal or Rob?
I think they do.
Nope.
I think you do.
No, I don't think so, buddy. I'm looking at the schedule right now. We don't. Oh yeah, we do.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're right, Jackpot.
Yeah,
we
okay.
do.
Thank you. I'd already got the Google fingers
His
out.
name's Darian Mensah. Darian Mensah. I'm telling you,
Mensah.
this dude might be.
They'll play Clemson, and it doesn't matter. We're going to win that game.
I'm telling you, this Darian Mensah, he's going to give the ACC problems. He is the real deal, Rob. This dude's good. And he's got, I think, 3 years of eligibility. He transferred after his freshman year.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this dude's stats.
Cool.
He had 2,700 yards passing with 22 interceptions, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
So are passing stats, are those important? Are those an important stat to you?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Okay, because Cade Klubnik this season threw for more yards than any Gamecock quarterback has ever.
That's nice.
There. I mean, that's what he threw for in passing yards. More than anybody.
He also played more games, too.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. More than anybody has ever.
It does matter. He played in more games. He had an extra game.
More yards. He threw for more yards than anybody who's ever suited up for you.
Didn't every team you played outside of SMU?
He had an extra game thanks to Syracuse.
It's a plastic stat, is what I'm trying to get across.
So y'all can rename that the fruit record.
It would hurt my feelings too. I'm just.
Didn't you play 4 teams?
I'm not trying to rationalize it, but you played an extra game.
Well, didn't you play 4 teams all year regular season that had a winning record as well?
I don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
They lost to 3 teams that had a winning record. They beat one team that had a winning record.
One team that had a win.
I'm not regular season.
I'm not counting Texas because that's postseason playoffs. But regular season, I think you only played 4 teams. I think you only played 4 teams with a winning record.
Cool.
That's facts.
That's what? South Carolina, Georgia, SMU, and Pittsburgh? Or no, Louisville.
Cool. The kids
Georgia, South Carolina, Louisville, and Pittsburgh in the regular season. The rest of the teams lost. They all lost, and they lost their bowl games. 2 of their opponents that they beat lost their bowl games to the group of 5.
I'd be willing to wager I can go down the entire history of South Carolina football, and there's never been a season where we only had a fourth of our schedule go over 500.
Okay.
But maybe that's just speculation. I haven't done the research. But congratulations, Cade Klubnik. You know, I'll give him flowers where he has it. He put up stats.
The point that I was trying to make to you is that just because you have all of those passing yards, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If it does, then Cade Klubnik's the best quarterback to ever play in the Palmetto State then, under that logic. I don't think that it is. No.
I think 2 things can be true, Rob. I think stats can matter, and you can also evaluate talent. You don't think that's – I mean, come on now. You're telling me what was it? Kellen Moore?
I just asked you if passing stats were important, and you said that they were. And then when I give you a passing stat that doesn't go to your argument, then you're like, well, that other blah, 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 blah. That's the whole point.
What you're doing is listening to respond instead of listening to understand. But I said passing stats are important, but they're not the end-all, be-all.
I ask you, do passing stats matter? And you said, yes.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
And then I went on to say, passing stats are not the end-all, be-all.
Well, of course you're going to fucking spin like a washing machine when I throw something at you like that. I'll pull the tape and we'll have it for you next time when we
rewind it next time.
Because what it said was
passing stats
I said, do passing stats matter? And you said yes.
Said yes.
Yeah.
And then what did I say? And then what did I say? They're not the end all be all, but I guess you just shut your ears off.
I know what you said. I'll pull the tape.
All you did you were just yapping, so you didn't hear that part.
No, I listened to the whole thing. You said the kid from Tulane, Manza, or whatever the fuck his name is, had 2,700 passing yards.
Darian Mensah.
Everything that you said. So let's not come into this thing where it's Rob wasn't listening. I instinctively listened to everything that you said. I just repeated it back to you. So stop that.
Okay, so because I said passing stats matter, that means there's no other factor in determining at all which quarterback's the best quarterback. How foolish of a statement are you making, Rob? That is so foolish.
I didn't make that statement.
You did make that statement. You said, passing stats matter, so Cade Klubnik's the best quarterback in South Carolina history.
I asked you.
Rewind the tape on that one, too.
And you said yes. And I said, to even feed your argument, that Cade Klubnik threw for more yards this season than any Gamecock player has ever thrown for. Now, Cale was correct in saying that he had an extra game to play in. That's fair. But the point I'm trying to make to you is just because you throw for 2,700 yards doesn't mean that you're a great quarterback. That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's exactly what I said. You just said exactly what I said. Did he not, Cale? Did this motherfucker not just say exactly what I just said?
Oh, God.
Did he not, Cale? Am I crazy? Cale, did he not just say exactly what I just
said? I'm pleading the fifth on this.
Oh, my gosh. He just said exactly what I just said, and he's raking me over the coals.
I'll pull the tape. I've got what you said.
Pull it. You said, are passing stats important? I said, yes. You said, so Cade Klubnik's the best quarterback in the Palmetto State. I said, no, there's more to look at than just passing stats. You said, no. Passing stats are important, so that's the end-all be-all.
Here's the thing. I'll pull the tape, and then we'll show it on Wednesday, and you can apologize.
I can just rewind it. Like, what?
Billy's
rewind it and watch it.
Andrew rationalizes to fit his narrative. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Billy. When I bring up the Klubnik stat, fuck Klubnik. It is the most glorious thing ever. You Gamecock fans are so simple.
Is that what I did, Rob?
Yeah, you're just simple.
We're actually pretty complex.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
So. Complex.
What else do you have for the show, sir?
I'll leave you with this. Rob, you can't argue with me. You have to create your own argument that you think I'm making and then argue against that. And that's really sad, all right?
He's gaslighting you.
Literally exactly what you said is what I was saying, and you're sitting here ranting and raving about me. You said passing stats aren't the end-all be-all, which is what I was trying to fucking say. And then you act like you got some gotcha, like you owned me. No. All you did was yap for 10 minutes about exactly what I was trying to say and try and act like you owned me. And
I have the tape. It's cool. We'll play it on.
Yep, you got the tape. Everybody watched it as well. All right. I experienced it. I don't need the tape. I've got my own memory of what happened.
Well, your memory's shit.
Shane Beamer.
You lived with it. You've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah, I got the battle scars, the battle armor. All right.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer.
Section scar. That's what you got.
He's brought in excellent recruits thus far. And I'm excited. I'm geared up for next year. What do y'all think the Vegas line is going to be on the Gamecocks? Just early prediction, by the way, for next year.
Honestly, and I'm not trying to troll, they'll probably give you 6 or 7.
I think that's low. I think it'll be 7.5.
What was where is it? What was some little poll came out for way too early top 25 that had them ranked number 7.
Yeah, it had us in the top 10 for a way too early top 25 poll.
I don't know. I don't see how that's possible with all those losses on defense.
I don't see it happening.
Well, you got a lot of guys that you're losing on the defensive side of the ball.
No,
and Rocket Sanders is better than the entire running back room that you've got right now. So,
well, the thing with losing Rocket is at least we're gonna have at least 8 less fumbles on this season. I feel like. I mean, he was an absolute fumble machine.
Yeah,
he wasn't alone in that. He wasn't alone in that, so I'll be fair to him. He was not alone in that.
What you'll miss from him was the fact that he was a pretty good blocking running back too.
That's true too. Yeah, he could clean it. Yes, he could pick up a linebacker very well.
I mean, if we're gonna talk shit about him fumbling the ball, he sure as shit was a hell of a chip blocker. He knew what he was doing. So
he was a good blocker, but I'm not going to miss those fumbles on a 50-yard run, and then he just gets hawked down and the ball punched out. I'm certainly not going to miss that. It seemed like we were good for at least one every game.
Speaking of somebody who was taking off on a long run and getting the ball hawked out from him at the end, what about Juice Wells? in the Gator Bowl against Duke with the long touchdown reception. Now, they said he mocked Shane Beamer in celebration. I didn't really pay attention to that.
Do you want me to play it?
Touchdown. I was laughing because I was laughing at him dunking a football through the Duke. The Duke brought a basketball goal to a football game. Now, if that doesn't track, I don't know what was. I don't know if they just put that there to be because they thought it was cool, or I don't know if that was Duke secretly trolling people with the basketball goal.
I think there's another team that does that. I'm not quite sure of which one.
He did dunk the football through the basketball goal. So I didn't really. I did see the celebration when they played it back on Twitter, and like if that's what he was doing, and that's what you're worried about. You know how much I hate the term, but you want to talk about went flea? Well, that's went flea.
Well, the thing is, he has to, in his mind, justify his move just based off of hate because he can't justify it based off of production on the field.
He can't justify it based off production. He can't justify it based off some of the comments he made afterwards when asked about it. He's like, I don't like losing. I'm a winner. Okay, motherfucker. Yeah. You went somewhere where you won one more fucking game and lost one left. Cry about it. And he made a comment too, something about Lenoris and
not being a good
play with an experienced SEC quarterback. Well, Lenoris was the quarterback everybody was talking about in the SEC by that point.
All right, so Jackpot, can I play it? I'm gonna play it right here. Okay.
Sure. He just doubled down on stupid.
That's exactly what it was.
Here it is.
Memphis. Juice is loose. Antoine Wells into the end zone for the touchdown. 32 yards. Antoine Juice Wells with his 6th receiving touchdown on the year.
So I missed that.
And Jackson Dart with his 26th. That was a 1-minute drive.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's sad. You're looking at a young man like we just said. He has to hitch his wagon on hating Shane Beamer because he can't justify transferring in any other way. Because he essentially tanked his draft stock. I mean, he was on a team. Don't give me the Trey Harris bullshit. Trey Harris missed like half the year. I mean,
he should have stepped up. I mean, he should have had over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, so Juice Wells, I mean, he's lucky if he'll be a 4th rounder. I think he was guaranteed 2nd or 3rd rounder if he stays with Carolina. He's at least 1,000-yard receiver because we're going to feed him the ball. That's what we did back in 2023. So I don't know. He's going to go down. And I was telling Kale this the other day. Rob, I don't know. I know. Well, I know Clemson's had one, Makuba, but South Carolina, everybody who's transferred, apart from I guess Mario Anderson, really hasn't had the production that they've had. And I guess Jordan Birch this year, although he was shitty last year.
Jeter's been pretty good at Notre Dame.
No, he hasn't. He's missed a shit ton of kicks.
He's been pretty good.
No, he hasn't. Look up his stats. He's missed a shit ton of kicks.
I'm not gonna hate on him too much. He did kind of fuck us over, but the more I read about him, the more, I guess I should have known it beforehand, but I mean, he transferred more for academic reasons than anything. I mean, he wanted to take graduate classes there. I guess shit they don't offer at South Carolina. So,
yeah. I've got it right here. I was just talking about it. He was 8 for 15 on the year. He was actually really fucking bad.
Yeah, that's not good. That's damn Alex Herrera numbers there, ain't it?
I think Alex Herrera had a better year than him, to believe it or not. But everybody who's transferred out of Carolina has just been fucking putrid. And we think we're losing a big piece.
So
and it turns out we never are.
Just to be fair, the leading South Carolina receiver this year, you want to guess who it is?
It was Joshua Simon.
Joshua Simon. You know how many yards he got?
I think he had, 700?
No, sir. 519 yards is what he got. Juice Wells caught for 553 yards on 28 catches at Ole Miss. So there's that. Just putting the stats out there. He ended up with more yards playing at Ole Miss than he did than the leading receiver at South Carolina this year.
Yeah, well, show us the rushing stats at South Carolina next, because the offense is predicated around the run.
That doesn't
because we didn't have someone with his talent and ability.
That's what I was about to say. That doesn't detract from if we had some, because he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. When he's utilized right, when he's utilized under Shane Beamer, he's a great player. But what we saw at Ole Miss, I mean, that's 5th round talent. At South Carolina, if we had someone, I mean, who's our Juice Wells? Mazio Bennett?
Ole Miss rushed for 100 yards less than you guys did last year, but keep on talking about the deep.
What does that have to do with anything?
You said your offense was predicated on the rush, but they only Cale just did. They only rushed for 100 yards less than you guys did.
They only 100 yards less playing Furman and Georgia Southern, and what, Lord.
I can't help they have an SEC schedule, sir, that just like you do.
Furman's not on the SEC schedule. Furman's not SEC.
An SEC schedule, sir. That's the whole gist of it. You can't get anywhere with you guys if you're going to say, well, they played this, they played that. They played an SEC schedule.
Yeah, but the weak non-conference schedule is what everybody pointed to as their right.
And your non-conference schedule, you guys ran up on the rushing yards too.
It's the same thing with Nico.
Especially in that Clemson game.
It's the same thing with Tennessee's offense and Nico. They ran up a bunch of fucking stats versus like Mercer, and they're coming in week 7 acting like they've got the best offense in the fucking league, the best defense in the league. Yeah. I mean, you're doing it against piss poor talent. I mean, granted, you did it.
28 receptions for 573 yards. Joshua Simon caught 40 passes for 519 yards. So he was more of an impact at Ole Miss than any wide receiver that you had on your whole roster. And by the way, he was the 3rd best receiver there. So
none of what you're saying detracts from anything we're saying.
I think that he's a great player, and he knew he wouldn't get the ball as effectively as he would at Ole Miss.
You can say that, but when he was at South Carolina, he was a 1,000-yard receiver.
The numbers show that, sir.
The numbers don't show that.
He was playing.
What you're doing is playing with stats.
Oh my God! He was playing with fucking Rattler, dude.
You're playing with fucking stats, Rob. We don't have a Juice Wells on our team.
Yeah, we did.
We don't have a Juice Wells on our team.
Sure. Okay.
What are you talking about?
All I'm saying is that he went to where he was going to play with a guy who had a higher potential to be a better quarterback than what South Carolina had. Nobody knew that Sellers was going to be as good there. Nobody knew that.
That's not what
I really didn't have much doubt.
That's not what you were saying at all. What you were saying is he would have had less receiving yards than Joshua Simon at South Carolina.
He would have been. He went to a place where he could make bigger plays, which is what he did.
No, he didn't. He was a 1,000-yard receiver at his previous school. He did not make bigger plays when he transferred.
He made bigger.
If you want to get technical about it, and you take those 60 yards away from him because they're bullshit.
That's true.
Yards on that play where he fumbled out of the end zone against Carolina, and he scored. Guys, he would be below Joshua Simon.
He's below tight end at that point. And the thing is, if what you're saying is he transferred because there were unknowns with Lenore Sellers, that's fine. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
That's what he said.
But no.
But also, to me, though, that also doesn't explain the bitch move last year, sitting out the whole damn year.
That's what I was just about to say, too. If that's the case, he would have played last year with Rattler, and he didn't. So I don't think that was the case.
Well, then I'm just going by what he said. So, all right. Anything else?
Yep. Gamecocks, we own the state. All right. Don't let a Citrus Bowl loss let you forget that. The Palmetto Bowl is resting nice and sound in the Long Family Ops building of Columbia, South Carolina. All right. Shane Beamer owns you. He's always going to own you. Dabo's what? 2-2? Is he 2-2 versus that 2? But in the last year, 2-1 in the last 3. I think 2-2 total. I mean, he owns you. Let's just be honest. Clemson, you're not going anywhere. What? Before I go, can I just ask this? Is there anything you're excited about?
We've asked.
No, I'll ask one more question, and this is a fair. This isn't even a bullshit question. Is there anything you're actually really excited about this offseason for Clemson?
Fireball says we got beat in the bowl game by Illinois. LOL, y'all are a joke. Yeah, got beat by a 10-3 team. Got beat by a 10-3. What you went to a team that got beat by crappy fucking Michigan the week before, and they bent you over and ran it in raw like you was a damn sister wife. Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, Rob, is there anything?
Fucking
I
moron.
know you got a new DC to look forward to, but is there anything you're getting real geared up about this offseason for Clemson?
Yeah, there's lots of things I'm getting geared up about. So the best program in the state, they're making some moves. They're going to be just fine.
No,
Ohio State beat y'all by they beat y'all by 1,000. They were the best damn. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm glad y'all finally respect them. Glad you finally respect them after they beat that fucking ass, because y'all were talking all kind of shit. Y'all were talking hella shit before that damn game. Google Maps to the nearest way that we can take to dump the fucking goalpost in the goddamn river and everything else.
Yeah.
Shit.
Tennessee's got no business to talk. All right.
Tennessee is a fucking joke.
No.
It's a fucking joke.
Rob, I was hoping to hear a little bit more insight on the Clemson offseason.
I didn't get a chance to because I was letting Jackpot scramble.
I thought that's all you were saying. My bad.
It's a fucking joke.
You want me to cut in on Jackpot?
No. When Jackpot gets going,
it's a joke.
Yeah, let's just slow down for a second. I've been doing radio for fucking 25 fucking years. Let me dictate the show, sir. I'll be happy to answer your question for you when Jackpot stops fucking gigging this goddamn hillbilly. More people want to see Jackpot gig this fucking hillbilly.
Oh,
for me to tell you what I feel about Clemson.
I agree. No, I'm not telling you how to do your job. Trust me.
Fair enough.
I didn't know that's what you were
doing.
As
far as what Clemson's got, they've got 16 starters returning on both sides of the ball. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to another season with Brown at linebacker. I think he's going to blossom. Klubnik is returning, and he was a lot better quarterback after the Georgia game. Hopefully he'll blossom more. I like our wide receivers in Wesco and those guys. They're going to have another off season where they can hopefully gain a little weight so they can become some of them Frisbee catching dogs that we used to have. And there's lots of things that I'm looking forward to. We have a championship head coach. Lots of stuff I'm looking forward to with Clemson. There you go.
Are y'all losing?
How's their offensive line looking?
Well, that's
to be determined.
Who are the starters you're losing?
On the offense of the 6 that we're losing,
I know you're losing Barrett Carter, surely, right?
Barrett Carter is going to go. Who are there? Was
you're losing Mickens probably too, right?
Mickens is going to the draft. Yes, I mean our secondary is going to be a little bit. I don't know. Juarez is coming back as a linebacker.
Yeah, who's going to be the running back too?
Yeah, Moffa is going to be one that we've lost to.
Brenningstool too. No way Brenningstool is coming back.
No, Brenningstool's out. That's one of the 6 too. But I like the idea of Adams. I hope Adams gets some carries, but I don't know, to be completely honest with you. They did get another wide receiver in the transfer portal. They also are hopefully the 5-star.
That sounds foreign.
Yeah. The 5-star commit that they lost to Alabama to, God, I can't remember the kid's name. It's off the top of my head, but he didn't really have a big time effect at Alabama, but they are bringing him in on Tuesday. And if they can get him, for a visit, if they can get him, that would help with some depth in the linebacking core. So there's lots of things to look forward to.
Okay. I was just curious because I know we chomp it up a lot and we hear a lot about the Gamecocks.
Chris says, why did Moffa leave? Because he got his fucking degree and he has no eligibility left, sir. That's why he left. Holy shit, dude.
Well, just calm down there, Rob. I mean, that's the norm these days.
That's fair to him. Yeah, it is. If you think about it, leaving.
Here we go. Here's the line. Because he hates Clemson. He can't play another fucking snap. He's out of eligibility, you stupid fuck. God damn it. You are a stupid fuck, dude. You are fucking stupid. There's no hope for you.
Come on. Chris is
You are fucking dumber than fucking a bag of rocks that have been pelted with 80 million hammers. Holy shit.
Pelted with 80 million hammers?
He hates them so much that he's got his fucking degree from there. And he's going to the fucking Shrine Bowl. And he's going to wear a Clemson helmet there.
The Shrine Bowl? That's what high school kids play in.
The Senior Bowl.
Yeah, he's going to the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
Because he's out of eligibility, you fucking moron.
Calm down.
God damn it, dude.
Calm down. He didn't know. Hell, all these damn players nowadays, they transfer and they declare early and they do this, they do that, and the other. The normal thing, like just graduating and leaving the program because the eligibility up has become
Jackpot. It's the beginning of the new year, and I love you. And because I love you, I will let you just defend this fucking rock that you have.
I'm not defending him. I'm just
you are defending him.
Possibly.
Doesn't he have a COVID year?
Why don't you carry his water for him too, sir?
Doesn't he have at least have a COVID year, Rob? He should have a COVID year.
He has graduated. He has his degree. He's going to the NFL. What the fuck else do you want? I don't get it.
Well, I know it's getting late. I'll end us with this. As the college football season ends for the Carolina man, both Clemson and South Carolina, as quick as it went by, you best believe this offseason is going to take 3 to 4 times as long. We are now football deprived for a long, long time, gentlemen. And
no, we're not. We've got 11 weeks away from the start of spring practice. Until then, you've got your NFL playoffs coming up. Hell, the championship game ain't for fucking 2 weeks.
Well, I'm talking about seeing my team. I'm talking about seeing the game.
Jesus, Jackpot. Go wipe your ass, Jackpot.
That Ziggy? Please tell me that was Ziggy.
Jackpot. Go wipe your ass. I can smell that from here. Shit, brother.
Goodness.
I was hoping that would go off without a hitch, but
no, that didn't. God damn, that sounded like
that thing came through in 4K Dolby surround sound audio. All right, we could hear that loud and clear.
Megan's going to see the show tomorrow, and he's going to send me a clip. Jackpot farts.
Go Gamecocks!
Gunshot.
Go Gamecocks! Go Coach Beamer! Go Coach Elliott! Go Coach White! I'm excited for this team. Oh, one last thing. Who's your front runner for DC, Rob? And then I'm heading out. Front runner for DC.
I can't give you a front runner. I'm laughing too hard at Jackpot.
All right, take care. Go Gamecocks, baby.
All right, there we go. Jackpot, you better go white.
that was dry.
Yeah.
That was a desert fart.
You know what? Harry Leg-ass, Montana State or South Dakota State. I yield to the man who went 12 for 12 against the spread on the second page of the Rob and Kale Challenge. Who are you taking, sir?
I'm taking Montana State. They're undefeated. They've looked good to me this year. So, of course, now North Dakota State has lost 2 games, and one of them was against Prime. I'm not sure about the other one, probably South Dakota State. But, yeah, I like the Montana State Bobcats to this might be their first FCS title. I'm not sure.
I got to give Jackpot credit. I have not updated the standings yet because I was waiting for tomorrow's games. But I went through and ran the standings, right? Let me show you really quick here because it's kind of funny. Let me show you this really quick and we'll get out of here, Jackpot, I promise. So when you look at your responses, right, on the Google form, this is what you see here. So let's show this to everybody so they can see it because these have already been submitted. But check this out.
They're telling Chris to call in. He's saying you don't want that smoke.
What the fuck is he going to say? Clemson sucks. Beamer. I've saved you the time. Here, this is what's really interesting. If you look at
That
this,
looks like a lab report.
so someone got 3 correct, someone got 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good, right? 7,
Yep.
8 wins. 8 wins is pretty good. There's somebody that got 12 correct, and ladies and gentlemen, 12 for 12, fucking perfect against the spread. 12 out of 12 games, Mr. Carolina Jackpot. That is the smoke that you don't want right there, by God.
Ding, 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 ding.
Some of y'all won't get 12 correct out of the 38 games. I'm serious, including me. Jackpot went 12 for 12. And if he wins tomorrow against Montana State, that's 13 games in a row against the spread.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm on a run like never before.
That is a hell of a run. So congratulations to Jackpot on that. All right, Jackpot, you got anything else, man?
I don't. So we will do a show Wednesday night. There's no game. There's a game Thursday night, right? Penn State and Notre Dame.
Penn State, Notre Dame. We'll pick those games on Thursday night or Wednesday night.
Which game is what night?
Let's see here. Hold on, please. Let's see here. I think the Penn State game is Thursday night. Let me make sure here. Come on, damn it.
I'd be remiss, though. I think about Kirby Smart and his dad. That was fucking that was really sad what happened to him. I saw several stories there. I'm not sure. Did he fall at the game? Then I saw one say,
I just read he fell and broke his hip in New Orleans. That's what I read.
Or he fell in the hotel. I don't know, but he fell and broke his hip, and then he died.
He had complications from the surgery, which when you're in your 70s, that can happen, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so this was before the game, right?
Yeah, supposedly, yeah. I think it was the day before the game.
Yeah. So he knew about it. I mean, he knew his dad had passed away.
Well, yeah, he knew his dad was having some issues. I think he died the day after, if I'm correct. So,
because they didn't, the announcers didn't say anything about it. So I was like, I guess they kept it on wraps. I guess
they did. Oh, Jackpot, we got to mention this, and this is kind of a down note too. By the way, the Thursday game is the Notre Dame Penn State. Friday is Ohio State and Texas. That's where we are there. The other thing is Tom Talbert passed away today. Yeah, that's a big time Clemson fan, and his dad was a Clemson alum from like 1965. I mean, he was a dentist and all this stuff. And Tom was a big time Clemson fan, and it's sad that he passed away.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. I went to a baseball game with him.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. I know
in Greenville. Me and my son went back in like 2017 or so, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. He came down for a Clemson baseball game, I think it was, and he drank beer with us at Callaway's. Pretty good guy. He was a Phillies fan. He used to give me shit about being a Braves fan, saying that all Braves fans were fake, which is kind of funny. But he passed away due to cancer. So God bless you, sir. That's all I can say to that. Prayers for his family. No families have to bury their kids. It sucks.
Horrible.
So, yeah, what a mess. Well, he died early
His
Saturday.
dad used to get online a lot, too. His dad used to get on Facebook and talk some shit, too.
His dad used to get into it with the comrade.
His dad got into it with me. I mean, but he was all right. He was a good guy. But he got into it with me. But then I guess I don't know. Maybe
I think he just liked to stir it up with everybody, Jackpot, to be honest with you. But
the comrade would argue with anyone.
He'd argue with a stop sign. So, but anyway, bless you, Tom Talbert, sir.
Yes.
In peace, sir. All right. Shitty way to end the show, but that's how we're going to do it. We'll see you on Wednesday night.